What's happening? George Kittle time.
Yes, our season's over. And yes, that last game blew. But Brock, you should still feel proud. We wouldn't be there without you.
Oh, that's nice.
And Christian McCaffrey. Duke and Roy catch and pass. But I prefer Nick Bosa. Going Prescott on. Cause we belong together.
All right, so that is George Kittle singing. Who can sing it better than him? So it's been a heck of a day. Yesterday we got to see Nick Bosa. He became the Defensive Player of the Year. More snubs, and it's just why would they not put Patrick Willis, one of the best linebackers to ever play the game, and they kept him out of the Hall of Fame? Well, that's all right. We just have to go with what they go with it for next year. We'll see what happens. Um, Not going to do a George Kittle impersonation on his singing, but I think that we should get him and Rombo to have a singing contest. So, but back to the Hall of Fame. The NFL Hall of Fame did not put Patrick Willis into the Hall of Fame. And I was thinking a lot about this from yesterday. I talked to some guys like why would they do that? And so they brought up different issues and everything, because he didn't have that long of a career in the NFL. But I think that your action on the field is what determines how you get into the Hall of Fame. So, um, well, that's just up to the NFL to put Patrick Willis in there. Hopefully, they don't do what they did to Terrell Davis and make him wait a long time. I mean, there's been a lot of 49ers that had to wait a long time. Some of them because of issues with that they've had off the field, but they should they need to get these guys back. Uh, they need to get the guys that are playing well in the NFL and they show it on the field for no matter how long it is. That Patrick Willis should be in the NFL. There shouldn't be a wait here and there. His character off the field was very good. He's a good person. I think he's a pastor now, and so he left the game because of a foot injury. He said if you can't move, he can't run based on his injury, then why should he continue to play? He didn't want to play and be one of those guys that didn't wasn't able to help his team on the field, but he was able to do that. I mean, he's been to a lot of Pro Bowls, and I feel that he should have went in there this year. Felt that he should have went there last year. But you look at guys over history of the 49ers that didn't make it, their first ballot didn't make it. Let's see, I don't Charles Haley for one. That's a guy. Roger Craig, he should have made it in. I mean, he completely changed the way the game was played. Talking about catching from coming out of the backfield and also running. So that's another guy. Then you got T.O. His performance on the field was really good. And he had to wait and wait and wait. And he didn't want to go to Canton and wear that jacket there because he felt that he got slighted, which I agree with him. But your play on the field should determine how you get into the NFL's Hall of Fame. It shouldn't be, well, he didn't play this long. He didn't play that long. It should be because of um, how long they played or how well they played on the field. That's how it should be. So Patrick Willis, you have my vote. We should do a 49er votes only, um, to vote in all of these players into the Hall of Fame. It shouldn't be up to sports writers, and it should be up to actually the players, the fans, not sports writers. I don't see why sports writers should have a lot of input on who gets into the Hall of Fame. So, Patrick Willis, you have my vote. You're one of the best that ever played the game, and you should be in the Hall of Fame. There shouldn't be any discussions on it. You should be in there. But the guys that got in there this year, well, they deserve it also, but they shouldn't be. They should just have a system where these many players go in. I don't like this just like 10 players and all that to go to wait. If they show it on the field, they should be able to get in. That's my point. These guys should be able to get in no matter what. Um, hey, what's up, Damian Lee? Damian Lee said, "What's up, faithful?" Yeah, so that's one of the biggest issues I have with the NFL, the NBA. I mean, they even did it in the major leagues too. The MLB kept the what's his name Rose out of there because of betting, but you can clearly see that the stuff that they did on the field, that's what they are. That's how they should be judged on who gets on and off the field. So, and then the other thing is the Christian McCaffrey uh not being able to get those votes when he first this year to get into the Pro Bowl. Um, hey, what's up, Wolf? Hey, if you any of you guys want to jump in here, you're more than welcome. I just wanted to get in here and share my thoughts from today on the the Hall of Fame, and all of that. Um, so yeah, that's it's pretty much like that in in the three major sports of the way that they do this the the Pro Bowl and the voting for the Pro Bowl, the voting for the NBA All Star, and for Christian McCaffrey not to even be voted in the season. That's just crazy. So that he got snubbed there. So um, the 49ers did the team itself, the players. I feel that with what I heard from Debo and and a lot of the players this year, though it's kind of everybody's saying they're kind of salty about everything, but who wouldn't be? They just need to bring it next year, bring that energy, that strength, all of it, and show it out on the field next year when they take the field again. So that's the biggest thing about the off season is everybody can talk trash and all that. So um, unfortunately, we're not the ones that are going to the Super Bowl and be able to talk some trash and stuff like that. We just got to carry it on to next year. Be able to understand that we can carry everything over, but we need some players re-sign. We need some players to get drafted, and there's a lot of things that need to go on. And I know a lot of people talked a lot about Brock Purdy's injury, and they don't know what's going to happen. I still stick by my guns on what I said about Brock Purdy. I feel that Brock Purdy, with the injury serious as that he should wait until November to come back, um, just because of the injury. So, but for to understand the whole game of football, everything, the politics that goes into it, it is a business, and there are going to be changes. So I heard it on a lot of different a lot of different channels today that some trade should happen. This should happen. The one thing that I say, I don't know. Maybe somebody can tell me. Can they do a sign and trade? Can we sign Jimmy Garoppolo and trade him and Elijah Mitchell to the Raiders for the running back over there? I forget his name. But anyways, can we do that? Can we trade him, those two players, and get the running back from the Raiders? Because he's shown that he can play and he's healthy, and that's those are some food for thoughts. And there's going to be a lot of these kind of what ifs questions. What would happen if we got this player to bring him in? Things like that. So it's uh it's one of those things that what can we do to sign and trade some of these players, and or can we sign and trade them, or the trade clauses will get in the way. But I mean, the NBA does it all the time. The NFL should be able to do that also. Um, the other thing that I wanted to talk about today also is who do we draft to bring in as a right tackle? I've said who I wanted to for the 49ers to bring in as the right tackle, but there's a lot of players coming in, and hopefully that the front office will draft somebody that'll come in and will be able to take over where McGlinchey's at. So we don't know. We don't know where it's going to happen. We can only speculate, but that's a good thing about being a YouTube guy and talking about sports, is that you can speculate all you want, because this is what you want to, maybe, who knows, maybe somebody will see what you're talking about, and they'll take it to note, and then they'll go and research and evaluate those players that we talk about on shows, and maybe the front office will bring in those type of guys that'll take over where McGlinchey has failed. I don't. He's not a total failure, but he definitely um, he hasn't played up to his level that of what they wanted him to play when he came into the NFL. So, and then the other, we have to make sure that the players that are developing behind them are being developed, so that way they can eventually step in if somebody gets hurt if somebody gets hurt. So um, we need to be able to keep that crop of guys coming into the team and being able to step in there right away if they're when their number is called. You know, a lot of times we think of about the game and how the veterans are always telling the younger guys, "Hey, or I mean the coaches are always telling." I like to use basketball because the coaches always say this: be ready when your number is called. Be ready because you're going really quick, um, in a matter of second, and they'll put somebody in there just to get to rally their team to come back. And once they start coming back, and then they'll put their starters back in there, and their starters will feel like, oh, we got to go. I mean, they helped us get us over a little hump there. So we need those type of players to be ready. Brock Purdy showed that he was ready this year. He was really ready, and he was able to come in, and he did a marvelous job. And he um, got us to the NFC Championship game. He got hurt in that first quarter, but I mean that's what I'm talking about. We need players that are going to come into the organization and they're ready to go when their number is called. Because if they're not ready to go, we need those players that are going to come in, feel that need, and are ready to get going. So those are the type of players that I would like everybody to look for. Brock Purdy showed that he's that type of player. Elijah Mitchell even showed that last year, and I mean, he's a really good player. Um, so those type of players are the type of players that we need to look for in evaluating players coming into the league. Especially we can get them onto the 49ers and have them develop behind a really good um, we have a really good team, so they can really develop them, and they can just keep this thing going. The momentum is there. This year it was cut short because of Purdy's arm and Johnson, and just basically he got hurt. I didn't have a whole lot of faith when he came into the game, not at all. But we need players that are going to be that are hungry. That's why a lot of teams, there's surprises that happens all the time because they're just waiting their turn. They didn't get drafted. They were free agents when they came into the league, and they're guys that are just traveling, waiting for their number to get called, and they're hungry. We need those hungry guys that are fired up to be in the NFL, to get paid for a game that we all used to play at when we were younger and we loved it. And now they get to get a chance to get that paycheck. Um, so those are the players that we really need on this team to come in and show what they can do and have a chip on their shoulder. That's basically what they need to have on them all the time. Play with a chip on their shoulder because they weren't given that opportunity, and I'd rather have them have that opportunity suiting up for the red and gold. Um, so last night I was watching George Kittle. He was singing, he was having fun. All the San Francisco 49er guys are over there. I mean, that singing was not very good. I I'm not gonna try to sing in front of all those people. That's just crazy. But he was able to do it. He had fun. They had fun. But that's what they need. They need players to come in, have a chip on their shoulder, and be able to have fun. Kittle, fifth round draft pick. He was having fun. There's a lot of guys that get drafted and they're not in the league because one, they're not playing like they want to be there. Two is that they think it's owed to them that they're there, and then three, they just are there just to say that they got into the NFL. But that's all on them. We need players that are going to step in, fill the role as soon as they get on the field. And Brock Purdy was a great example of that. So um, that's the going back to what Wolf said this before. He said this one stings, and it still stings. It sucks, but you know we just have to move on. I don't know about this game coming up on Sunday. I call it the Ref Bowl because the referees kind of put themselves into the game on the other two games, but uh, I really hope that Kansas City beat the Chiefs because I'm tired of hearing it from these Eagles fans. Even though there's a couple of guys that I'm rooting for, I'm happy for them. That's on the Eagles, but when it's all said and done, I don't want the Eagles to win. And then I can't wait until that game until they play in the regular season next year, and then we'll really see with a healthy quarterback, whether it's Brock Purdy or Trey Lance. We'll see who's going to be the better team, who's going to win. Um, when we really have a quarterback that can be in there to play. So that's that's kind of my Friday night wrap up. I just wanted to jump in here and give my thoughts on that with a little jive from little Friday night jive by playing George Kittle's singing from last night. I thought it was pretty cool. And if any of you guys think you have the voice and the talent to do what George Kittle did, I put the stream up right here. You guys can jump in and start singing if you guys want to. So if anybody has the guts to come on in here and try to do better than George Kittle in singing, jump right on in. I put it up here um, on the comments so you guys can jump in if you guys want to. I think I'm gonna go for about another 12 minutes. So if any of you guys are have the courage and the bravery to come in here, um, that's a dare. So if anybody's watching and they want to do it, come on in. Um, so going back, Defensive line. We need a D tackle that's going to be a stud D tackle in there. Um, you guys know who I picked? The guy that I want them to go and draft, the Siaki Ika guy from Baylor. Um, that's a guy that I really want the 49ers to go after. But if not, then um, we don't know. That's the guy I want to come on in here. Got Jordan Hatch. Boom, let's go. Is that boom, let's go? You're gonna come on and sing or no? What's up, Jordan? I guess everybody just no takers on that. No takers on that challenge. But yeah, Siaki Ika, he'd be a really good player to bring in. I think he's going to be right around the third round. I don't know, but we'll see. So hopefully he'll be around. The other guy that I really want is the right tackle. He's projected to go as a left tackle, but he played right tackle. Is Breland from BYU. So um, hopefully he can stick around, or the Niners can go up in the draft to get him. But I think it's going to be hard because of we don't have a first or second round pick. So um, that's one guy that I really want to that I hope the 49ers will take a look at and evaluate him, and hopefully they can bring him in. I think he can do the job right off the bat. I don't think there'll be any time that he needs to develop. He's that high up there in my evaluation. Doesn't mean squat, but it's that's my own opinion. Um, and then we need to address that cornerback position also in the draft, or um, hopefully that Emmanuel Mosley will be back. Hopefully they re-sign him and get some of our other guys re-signed. But that's uh that's just the bit of it. Hopefully the 49ers can do their thing. And man, it was just kind of hilarious to hear George Kittle singing and everything yesterday. And uh big ups to him, man. I don't know. He's a stud for doing that in front of so many people and just having fun. So um and then I I think we have a really good coaching staff now. So we have the DC in the house, and we'll see what happens after the Super Bowl and in this free agency. But um, somebody said that they would like to see Fletcher Cox come in here, or we can trade for him. But I think that would be a good pickup. That would be good. But we just need some hungry guys. And right now, the San Francisco 49ers, they have a team of hungry guys. They want to get there. They want to win the Super Bowl. They just want to do everything they can to uh, to get back there. And right now, they're talking it up. And so hopefully they can do it. We have the team to do it. We have the coaching staff to do it. If Kyle Shanahan calls all the right plays, I think we'll be there. The other guy that I would like them to try out at tight end is Jason Poe. I like to see him become a tight end uh, on special occasions, special plays that he can come in and be a tight end. He's got really great athleticism and he can really do good. So hopefully they'll look at doing some things like that with him. Um, but it's going to be a really good year coming up. The San Francisco 49ers will have a really good year. And any of you guys no takers on jumping on in here and seeing if they can out sing George Kittle? We don't have any takers. No. Well, I won't do it either. If, that's just up. So So yeah, that's it for me today. That's the Friday night jive, and appreciate everybody that came in on the comments. And uh, I'm going to do one more tomorrow before the big game. So we'll see everybody tomorrow.